agriculture contributes about 33% of all the emissions of the world, depending a little bit on how you count it, but it's anywhere from 26 to 33. And we can't get to net zero. We don't get this job done unless agriculture is front and center as part of the solution. And you just can't continue to both warm the planet while also expecting to feed it. Doesn't work. So we have to reduce emissions from the food system to keep the 1.5 degrees alive.
You guys heard what I heard, right? Yeah. Man, you know where I feel like I've heard this before sometime, like I've read about this or something, like in history. Oh, that's right. Mao with the Great Famine. That was entirely man-made. Welcome back to the program, bottom of the second hour. That was John Kerry, in case you knew who his voice was. You knew. John Kerry saying that we got to get rid of farmers and farms if we want to get to net zero. Net zero? Yeah, net zero for carbon emissions. That's what he wants. Net zero for carbon. Can you, okay? Yeah?
Why does he hate plants and trees?
Food. Why does he hate food?
That too.
I mean, you heard, right? We all heard what he just said. He said that we need to produce less food. Produce less food. That's literally what he just said. And he said to stop the world from overheating, we got to start with farms, produce less food. So that means he wants to starve people. What are you going to do to make up for the food? Any ideas? Where do you get it from?
Laboratories.
That's why they all want us to eat bug meat? No thanks. You know what? Honestly, can I just say something to an aside, and I'm going to come back on topic? I can't hardly eat seafood anymore because of this. The moment they started talking about eating bugs, that's when I realized that old joke that, yeah, most seafood, like your shrimp and your lobster, that's bug meat. I don't want to eat bug meat anymore. Why is that a delicacy? Just because it's not totally easy to get for everybody? Like you can't just walk outside and get some? I don't know. I just don't want any of it. I can't hardly eat it. I cannot. I think I'm developing an actual aversion to it. Like fish I can eat, but shellfish, not that I'm not allergic or anything. I just cannot stomach it. I can't deal with it because of this. I think the patriot DNA that I have from being an American. And by the way, when you become a citizen of the country, there's a magical thing that happens, like your DNA changes. I don't know if you knew this or not. Like it's something the founders didn't really totally want to put in our founding documents, and you like start getting rowdy. You start getting just a tad bit ungovernable. And then it grows, as you mature over time, it grows. Your ungovernableness grows. Anyway, I can't hardly. Am I alone in thinking that? Is that weird, Kane? I just look at it, I'm like, bug meat. No thanks. Mm-mm.
No, I mean, that's not weird at all. I mean, that's the way it was back in the day, that it was the cheapest food out there. And then somehow it just became more expensive and people thought, oh, maybe we should eat that. Yeah.
All I know is that whenever I'm in the Caribbean, like if we go to the Exumas or Bahamas, like all the fishermen, you know what they use to get like the biggest conch, C-O-N-C-H, like conch shells and that? Because that actually is tasty. The conch salad is one of my favorite foods. You know what they use? They use lobster as their bait. And I was joking with one of these fishermen. I'm like, my gosh, you use what people would pay $50 for in the United States. And he goes, and I swear to you, hands this guy, he goes, it's bug meat. I just about died. It's like, yeah. But no, I look at it like that now after this whole thing. I'm like, I don't know. But he's talking about getting rid of food. Imagine that don't. This guy flies private. He likes to lie about it and say that he doesn't, but he does. His family owns a jet. But you can't pay attention to him. This is for you, the little people. Think about how terrifying that is, what he just said. No, we have to burn more. We have to use our food. We have to get rid of our food so that we can get to net zero. So 2 things in there that are terrifying. Getting rid of the food, number 1. And then number 2, net zero. There's no possible way to get to net zero ever. Ever. By the way, my rental car, my EV, it's back. I got my car, or not my rental car, my loaner. I got my regular gas guzzler back. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was so wonderful driving to church and just hearing the boom, 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 boom. I miss that. It was amazing. I mean, it was, first world problems. I had the EV for a day. It was like nothing. But yeah, it is, I just cannot imagine what that would look like, a net zero carbon emissions world. That would be, it can't exist. That's an unlivable world. Think about everything that the things that you use that are actually made with that has carbon emission output. Net zero is not a realistic thing. John Kerry is a cradled you want to talk about generational wealth? Why is it all Democrat? Didn't he come from the Forbes family? Isn't one of his parents from the Forbes family? He's a generationally rich dude who married a woman whose late husband was the Heinz ketchup founder, or from the Heinz family. So he came from a rich family and married into a rich family. He has no idea. I mean, the people that bear the brunt of all of these vanity, compassionate vanity exercises that these people get involved in, it's all the middle class and struggling people. They're the ones who bear the brunt of this. Net zero. That's a terrifying thing. Yeah, and he said, 5 years we'll have the first ice-free Arctic summer? That's so stupid.
Back in 2009, he said that.
Yeah, he said that too. Yeah, he's a moron. Why is he's the climate czar? But he was never elected. No. Well, not elected, but there was never any kind of hearing for him or confirmation for him. Correct. Yeah, that's weird.